Good evening, everyone. This is Sandy Britton, and I want to welcome you to our Monday night how-to series with our Vice President, Janine Avila. You know, it's been so exciting to have these Monday night trainings, and I know many of you that are watching this have been able to watch it with the recording. Monday night at this time doesn't always work for you, but we're so excited to be able to have this training available so that your brand new person has an opportunity to kind of begin to grow their business. And for those of you that have been doing this for a while, you have an opportunity to kind of get some tips to fire yourself up again and really get going. So I am very excited to introduce our Vice President of Operations in our Dallas office to the HWH World Call tonight. HWH, of course, standing for Health, Wealth, and Happiness. And we're so excited, Janine, to welcome you to our call on the how-to series tonight. So welcome to the call, and I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you so much. Sandy, I love watching you greet everybody, and whether you're on here live, like many of you are, or so many of you are now taking advantage of the podcast feature. So that's been really great. And thank you for all the nice comments you guys have been posting on Facebook and on the email. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
You see the how-to series? That's what I'm,
Yes.
okay. Okay, good, because I've got it over on one screen. So we're gonna go, let's see. Okay, did you cover the mute stuff, Sandy, while I was off doing other things?
No, I didn't, but I'll just put a little reminder out to everyone that please mute your computer or your phone so that we can be able to have an opportunity to hear the training without any interruption. We really appreciate that. Remember, those are in your lower left-hand corner, both the mute and the video button. If you're not able to stay in front of your camera, or you might be eating or doing something that might be distracting, you might want to turn your video off as well as Janine prepares her presentation. So again, thank you all for joining us tonight. It's nice to have you on the call with us for those that are present. Thank you for being here.
Okay, I'm having a slight problem over here, and I don't know what's causing it. You guys can see my screen that says back to basics.
We can see your desktop.
How to increase sales.
I'm going to stop the screen share. Okay, let me try this again.
There we go. We're live. Perfect.
So what do you see now?
Back to basics with 3 circles.
Okay. All right. So, okay, hold on. I'm going to do this the old-fashioned way. I'm just going to move it. Okay. So we have that. All right. Back to basics. So tonight, a couple things I wanted to tell you all is that, so we've been doing this how-to series, and we were really going to wrap it up at the end of May. Next Monday night is May 31st, which is when you'll be closing your month. So we will not have a call next Monday night because we know everybody's going to be busy closing their month. And then we'll resume. We're going to do, I got some great feedback about ideas and requests that you all had for calls. So we're going to resume again in June, on June 7th, which is the following Monday. So tonight, what you're going to get is, you know, we talked about how to have an additional income stream, how to increase your sales, because many of you do this as, you know, one income stream. And we all learned, if we learned anything over the past year, we learned it's important to have a backup, because everything that we thought was a certain kind of way kind of shifted for everybody. And we've all talked about that ad nauseum. But we're going to go back to basics. And tonight we're going to cover just some of the things that we covered during the month and recap and talk to you. Everything points back to sales and back to basics. And I say this is a telephone because, you know, this is a telephone. This is an Android. This is an iPhone. And whether you have a landline, and I still have a landline. I know I'm one of the last dinosaurs. And here you see the landline and the iPhone. but we've got the red phone in the middle because it's a basic fundamental of sales. And I think sometimes when I say sales, I'm talking about promoting our products, getting people to really put the products in their bodies so they really have the experience you want them to have, and so that we can carry out the vision and the dreams that we all have for our own lives and to help really improve the lives of our customers and the people we touch. So if you've been around me very long, you know that I've studied Vince Lombardi, who was one of the greatest football coaches of all time, because for Vince Lombardi, it wasn't just about winning football games. It was about building the character of the men he coached. And that's really why he became one of the winningest coaches in football, and what he did with the Green Bay Packers. And if you're familiar at all, when he started and they were a losing team, he held up a football, and here's a picture. And he said, "This is a football, and it's back to basics." And I wanted to bring us back there today because we oftentimes get distracted with the apps and all the fancy stuff and the website, and we lose sight of the very basics. And the very basics for me, Vince Lombardi, this is a football. For me, this is a telephone. It's talking to people. It's the power of your voice. And, you know, I put Vince Lombardi-isms in here because it's just important to have really good ground rules so that you can build your business to be the business you want it to be. And make the second effort, love of the game. For me, I love the game of business. For me, it's a greater game. It's a game of life. It's a game of helping people. In football, you move the ball down the field. In business, you help people move towards their goals. You put moms home with their families. You put dads home and on the soccer field, and you help parents to get a better sleep at night because they're not worried about the mortgage. And at the same time, because of the products we market, we're building immune systems. We're helping people feel better, that they're putting the right formulations of products into their body so your body can work to protect you and keep you safe and give you all the energy you need just to do all the things that you need to do in life. So it's just really important that we realize the importance of your voice and of making those phone calls. So for me and for you, winning means profit. And with profit, you can do a lot of great things for your family and your life, and you can buy yourself a lot of peace of mind. You know, I'm going to go back for a minute for the power of your voice. When you send an email, how many times have you read an email or a text and somebody got you wrong? They took it wrong. Because a lot of us have a lot of chatter going on in our own heads, maybe from voices of the past that weren't so kind or friendly to us. And a lot of times when you just text or you just email, people make their own interpretation of what you say. That's why I'm a strong advocate of Zoom calls and video calls and FaceTime and calling on the phone, because you can see somebody's expression and you can say the exact same thing, but you can't transfer enthusiasm. You can try with emojis and exclamation points and all of that. But there's something about your voice and using the phone. And when you master this, you will really learn how to get more profit in your business to do the things you want to do for your family. And, you know, again, recapping, time to plan. Sandy showed us, was it last week or the week before, she pulled up her planner and showed us how she does it. And she's like me, she does it in her phone and she does it in a planner. But you schedule time to make your phone calls. And fundamental, this is a football, schedule time to make your phone calls. If you don't do that, you're not going to have the consistent, controlled, predictable income that you could have. When you treat this like a habit or a hobby, it pays you like, when you treat it like a hobby, it pays you like a hobby. You know, when you treat it like a business and you schedule time for your business activities, like I work in corporate here at HWH in Dallas, And we have certain meetings at certain times and everything's scheduled, and that's how things get done. So I may be preaching to the choir. Maybe you already do this, but maybe you're on this call tonight and you're looking for ideas of ways you can improve. And it's like, how good are you at scheduling your day? I mean, do you really plan it, or does like whatever happens come along? But if you're trying to improve sales and you're serious and you want to cover your mortgage, or you want to pay for a wedding, or cover college, or do something different, or build up a savings nest egg so you don't have to worry no matter what happens, you must schedule time to make those calls. And then you want to schedule them and then make them. And I have a book actually back here on my shelf called The Psychology of Sales Call Reluctance. And I know that a lot of times people don't want to make their calls, and it's been referred to as the 500-pound telephone because people don't want to pick it up. And we make jokes about people that organize their desk and they make it's avoidance behavior. It's avoidance behavior 101. When instead of picking up the phone and making your calls, instead you're organizing your desk, you're organizing the bulletin board, you're doing all this other stuff. And when you work from home, it's a tougher challenge. And because when you're at an office and you're sitting in a cubicle and you have work to do, there's nothing to do but that work. When you're working from home, you can go fold laundry, you can clean the kitchen, you can do other things, and we can justify it. But if what you're really serious about is building your income, you'll schedule time to make those calls. And just, a lot of people refer to it as dialing for dollars. And simply put, it's really reaching out and connecting with people and being confident. And there's some things that make the critical difference that give you the edge. And one of them is being confident. When you have a mindset of positive expectation before you call people, you're going to do better because it comes right through your voice. And I'm going to share with you a couple of tips that'll really help you with that and to help you be successful. But one of the things that helps me when I go to call somebody is I do my homework. I know before I make that call, I know where they work. I know what they do for a hobby. I know what they like. And now that we have things like Facebook and Instagram, it's easier than ever. So if I was going to call David, I might go look at his Facebook, or I might talk to somebody, or I take notes and I'm going to listen to what he said to me so that I know what I want to say. So I know that my product could really make a difference for him. And that's why I'm going to have confidence. I already know that Clinton Howard did the work. He did the research. I know from every fiber of my being that we have the very best products there are. You guys don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about that. The research is done. The products are tested. If I can just get somebody to give it a shot, I know they're going to love the products if they take them consistently and they take them in the correct way. And how many times do people get the product and it never comes out of the box or the bottle because it just sits there and they don't know how to take it? And some of that is a lack of follow-up. And we'll talk about that. But the sales mindset is to just expect a yes. I'm surprised if people say no to me. And if they do say no, I just understand it and I move on to the next. I don't want to waste a bunch of time trying to convince somebody to try something that they don't want to try. You know what? I learned this a long time ago and it's disappointing, but some people have a negative mindset and they almost want to be sick because they get attention from it or that's all they know. We don't have to waste our time trying to figure out all the reasons. Expect a yes and have a good attitude of positive expectancy when you're introducing your product or your business opportunity, and know why the person would be interested. That's the key, is I'm going to know why it's good for David, or why it's good for Ron and Sandy, or why it's good for Brenna and Carl, what it could mean to them. And I'm going to know that in advance, and I believe it. And so they're going to hear that in my voice when I call them because I'm prepared. I've done my homework. I have my information. Let's say I'm going to call, David Patton here, and I want to tell David about spirulina because I know that he might be interested in spirulina, or maybe we had a conversation or I met him somewhere. So I'm going to have my spirulina fact sheet in front of me. I'm going to have my pricing. I'm going to have all my information. So I'm quick and I'm prepared and I sound like a professional. And it's fair to people to provide them with the information that they want and to do it in the time frame that's fair to them. If I call David, and the first thing I say is, hey, David, did I catch you at a bad time? Or do you have a few minutes? And if he says yes, then I'm going to really spend a few minutes. How many times have we told somebody I have to go and they don't hear it? They keep talking. Why I always start all my calls, every call, and there's a psychology to this, and it's proven when you start a call and you say, did I catch you at a bad time? Or do you have just a minute? And I've been doing sales training for years, you guys, and I'll tell people, say this, and this is not my idea. This is a proven research statement. If you read telephone sales or you've done any studies on this, don't change it. And 9 times out of 10, people change it. And they say, is this a good time to talk? And that doesn't work the same way. I don't know why it works. I just know it works. And if you say it's a good time to talk, when you say, did I catch you at a bad time? People are more, there's something about you respecting them, respecting their time, and you want to make sure it's not a bad time. If you haven't done this, just try it and watch and see what happens. Probably for 20 years, I've been saying this, and I've been training salespeople to say this. And when they start doing it successfully and consistently, they have improvements in their sales. They have improvements in the amount of conversations they actually get to have with people. And you have to have a reputation for keeping your word with people. So if they say it's just a few minutes, then it's really got to be a few minutes. And if they say they have to go, I've only had probably 2 or 3 times in 20 some years that somebody said, when I said, did I catch you at a bad time? That they've said, actually, it is a bad time. Could you call me back in 10? But they're happy that you asked. You gave them a chance to say something. We don't ever want to pounce on people, and time is our most precious commodity. It's our most precious resource because our time is our life. So that's a big deal, you guys. So be ready and be prepared. And I just want to say, have fun. A lot of my experience, I've worked with people and they're stressed out about making these calls and they're nervous about it. And if you lighten up and just have fun, especially now, I'm going to say now more than ever, because there's a lot of stress in the world and people have had a hard go the last year and a half. And when you can be a light, happy, when you heard Justin come on the call, you heard Sandy say what? She loved the positivity in his voice. You could hear it. We want to be around happy, positive people. It's not as important to have all your facts. And we talked about this on another call. People don't care how much you know. They don't. They don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. How do they know how much you care? Because you ask them if they have a few minutes. Did I catch you at a bad time? How are things going for you today? If the last time you spoke, they told you they put their car in the shop, how's that car running? Pay attention to the details. Success is in the details. It's in the little things. If they said, it's a bad time because I'm walking into a baby shower, how was that baby shower? We're working on our house. How's that house coming? Build commonality, build rapport. That's what makes you different. That's what gives you the edge. Have fun. And remember, we talked about this, be bright, be brief, be gone. Don't be a windbag. Just get on, master the art of leaving messages. When people leave me these long messages and they're going on and on and on and on, it's too much and they're filling up my voicemail. State the reason. That's the opposite. The other kind of messages that don't work is, hey, give me a call. I want to talk to you. There's no reason to leave a message like that. State the purpose. Please give me a call. I want to talk to you about something. When we talked last week, you said you guys have been sick a lot. I got something I want to share with you. It'll just take, 10 minutes or less of your time. You leave bright, brief messages that are compelling. Every successful network marketer that I've ever known is really good at leaving messages. They leave them fun, funny, entertaining, and they're compelling to where you want to be called back. And this is something you practice. Grab a buddy, practice with your spouse, practice with your upline mentor, practice with a business partner, and ask people to be honest with you and say, how do I sound when I call? Pay attention to your tone. I was working with somebody in a call center once that I was training, and he was having terrible results. And I said, I'm going to come and sit with you. And I sat there and listened to him. And I said, Eric, you sound like a telemarketer. And he said, I am a telemarketer. And I said, no, you're not. You need to be this person's friend. You have a service that you believe is good for him. I had to take him all the way back through. And it just goes back to a matter of the heart. If you believe in your product and you think these are the very best products and that HWH is the very best thing anybody should be doing, it'll come right through you. You don't have to rehearse. You just build your own belief. Listen carefully. We talked about this in our early listen. I have been sitting there with people and I hear people throwing off all kinds of clues that the person should be listening to so they know where to go. You start conversation and you build rapport so that when the person you're calling starts to tell you, well, it's not a good time because, you know, my whole family's sick and I'm taking care of everybody, then I would say, oh my gosh, that's so hard on you. I'm so sorry you're going through that. I'm going to let you go. I don't want to take any of your time, but I do want to call you back. Or would it be okay if I sent you something in the mail to look at that will help you with that? Because you don't want to come on with your own agenda. You want to hear what they want if you don't know, or you ask questions. In building your income stream and increasing your sales, it's all about the questions. Questions are your safety net, especially if you get nervous. And I don't get nervous anymore because I've been doing this for so many years. But if you're nervous or you haven't done a lot of it, repetition is the mother of all skill. So if the more calls you make, the better it gets, the better you get at it. And when you have a big list of people to call, it's great because if you screw up 2 or 3 of them, you got a bunch more calls to make. And you think, well, I didn't do that right. Just lighten up and have fun with it. It's like a game or a sport. And you just do it again and you go, okay, whoa, that didn't go well. And you don't get all emotional and get all stuck in your feelings. You just say, okay, I'll do better on the next one. Let me try the next one. That's why I like doing trade shows and fairs. And I know right now it's kind of sketchy where you can do those, but what's good about those when you do them is that you get so many chances. You're just one right after the other, but you can duplicate that by having a really good list. And we're going to do a call in June about how to really build the list. And we've talked about it a little bit, but most importantly, ask questions and listen to the answers. And this is super important because I've watched people over and over, especially when I've done trade shows and I've watched people sitting there talking to people come up to the booth and the person is asking questions, but the person I'm coaching is not listening to the answers. They're responding with their own agenda, their predisposed questions that they were going to ask. So when you ask questions, listen carefully to the answers and repeat back to them. Now, here you see, we're back to football. Here you see the coach, like, what the heck? What did you do? The reason I put this picture in there, the secret to your survival, the secret to your success in business is having a mentor, a coach, somebody you can work with. So you've got an upline that brought you into the business, somebody that's on your team. You guys are on this call, you're watching the podcast or the replay. If you don't have someone, send us an email, send it to support at hwhworld.com and we'll help you. You've got Sandy Britton, you've got Barb Ashcroft, you have, Pam, you have a lot of great people on this call. We have some people in field support that will reach out and help you and will get you the coaching you need. But practice your calls and really listen to your mentor and don't dismiss the ideas, try them. And I'll take you back to way back in the early days when I got started in Tupperware. I had a wonderful mentor. Her name was Rosemary. And she gave me a script. And I thought I knew better. And I said, I'm not going to use a script. I don't need a script. And she said, here's the script. The script was, if I could show you, I still remember this because I said it so much. Remember, repetition is the mother of all skill. I said, the script was, it said, if I could, it said the person's name, because, you know, what did Dale Carnegie teach us? The sweetest sound to the human ear is the sound of one's own name. So you say their name, and it was a blank, and it said, if I could show you how you could make an extra $300 to $500 a month by just spending 8 to 10 hours of your time, would you be interested? That was the script. And she said, here's the script. And if they say no to you, say this. And I wasn't coachable back then because I thought I knew, and I thought a script was dumb, but I said I would. So I knew I had to do it because I said I would. So I had it sitting there, but I wasn't convinced. But I had it sitting in front of me, and I was talking to a lady, and I still remember her name was Joanne, and I really wanted her in my business. I thought she would have been a great distributor. And I said, Joanne, I really, I said all my stuff, all the stuff I thought was the best thing to say. And she said, it sounds good, but I don't have time. I'm just way too busy. So no. And she was almost hanging up on me. So I was desperate. So I pulled out the script and I said, Joanne, if I could show you how you could make an extra $300 to $500 a month with just 8 to 10 hours of your time, would you be interested then? And to my shock, she said, oh, an extra she said, oh yeah, I could make time for that. And I became a believer. I was completely shocked. And I thought Rosemary was wrong, but I did the script because I said I would, and it worked. And I learned in that moment that there might be somebody who knew things that I didn't know, and that my belief system might not be the secret to my success. So from that moment on, I listened to her. She was my coach. That was always in my ear. And I also learned to study and learn from other mentors. So I want to stress that. I don't want to go overtime. I want to keep my time commitment to all of you. Set a goal. We talked about this again in another series, but monitor that goal. Write it down. Remember, a goal not written down is merely a wish. You write it down and then you monitor. And there's a sheet here that shows how you monitor your weekly progress. You don't want to wait till you're at the last 3 days of the month and you're like, I'm trying to hit my goal. I want to get paid on, you get your check on the 14th or your deposit now. I check, I'm old school. But hit your goals and plan your month accordingly and monitor your progress so you have time to adjust. And we did a call on email etiquette, how to communicate effectively. If you are on this call tonight, you didn't see that, there's Zooms, the replays are on, they're all on the gig site, or you can email HWH support and they'll send it to you, and you'll learn what to put in an email and how to manage your subject lines so that your emails get read. And then you can master your direct rewards. We're going to do a call also on the direct rewards and how to really understand the compensation plan. Now that we're covering the fundamentals in May was fundamentals month, back to business, back to basics. This is a football. And then in June, we're going to get busy and get the specifics of the compensation plan, the direct rewards, and how you do what you do. We're going to talk about how to find people. And we talked a lot about that and how to promote your product. You can email HWH support and get a listing of all the different how-to series that we've done. I'm making this up on the fly, but I'll probably have them send an email out that lists all the calls as we conclude this how-to series. This is our last call tonight for May for the how-to series, and we'll go with who is your audience. Build relationships to build loyalty. We've talked about that. Be nice, care about people, keep your word. If you say you're going to do something, do it. Don't gossip, all the things we talked about. Build relationships, and that builds loyalty. You want to be somebody that people want to be in business with. You want to be positive and friendly and somebody they want to talk to. Remember, people do business with people they know, they like, and they trust. And you get trust you earn trust. You get loyalty because you're a loyal person and you do the right things. And we're also going to do a call on Smartship, where we're going to talk to people, really dig into your Smartship and understand how Smartship works, the benefits of Smartship, and how to turn that first order into a Smartship order, and how to show people that it's in their best interest to keep these products coming to them continually and consistently. And they get the best price. They don't have to go out and get them. And they don't have to try to pay a rush shipping rate. And they continually put these products in their body, which is the way you build your health and your stamina and your immune system. And when you're doing all these things and you're building loyalty and you're coaching and you're coachable and you're making your calls and you're somebody that people want to be around, you're attractive. And I don't mean how you look. I'm talking about you're attractive, your personality. Are you somebody that people, when they see your name on the caller ID, do they get excited because it's you and answer? Or do they say, oh, you know, and that all comes from us being the kind of people that we want to be around. And that's what builds loyalty and how we work on our relationships. And I want to say thank you to all of you for your time. And for those of you who've got on live, because it's a lot more fun to have an audience to talk to, although we do appreciate, we know so many of you can't get on Monday night. And I know you're getting on the podcast and you're watching and you're sending us feedback. And I don't know if she's on or not, but I want to give a special thanks to Kirsten Boyd, who is our field support Canada, who's just done a phenomenal job putting these slides together. And I'm going to say sometimes with almost not a lot of guidance from me. I'll send her bullet points because I've been so busy and it's like, this is what I want to cover and this is a message I want to get across. And she finds the images and just sends the slides back to me so that you can all enjoy a good slideshow. So a special thanks to her. Thank you to Justin for running the board and Sandy for helping us with all the warm-ups, and to all of you. So this concludes our how-to series for May. In June, we'll come back. So watch your email, close your month strong, and we'll have the support team send out a list of all of the other calls that we did. So you have a complete list and they're easy to get to. And we are at 8:35, so I went 5 minutes over. So I apologize. Thank you for your time and your attention. And I think somebody's asking me a question. Let me make sure I don't want to miss anybody. Oh, there's Barb. Thank you, everybody. Oh, happy Victoria Day to all the Canadians. And Justin reminded me of that. It's a holiday in Canada. Barb is reminding us it's Victoria. And there it was two things, right? Kirsten sent me the stuff in my calendar this morning. Wasn't it? Is there any Canadians who want to help me out? I know it was Kirsten still on here. Well, happy Victoria Day. I'll give it that. And thank you, everybody. Have a good close of your month. And what? Somebody saying something? Okay, that's it. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you on the 7th.
Thank
Have
you.
a great
Janine.
evening.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.